Hello everyone, Volkov Dev here. Today I'll show you how to debug using VS Code, and I'm going to go through this simple Python script right here. So to go over it very quickly, we have an add numbers function. It simply takes two parameters a and b and returns the sum of them. The main function here is simply assigning x, y, and a counter variables. The x is at 10, y is at 20, and the counter is at 0. And then we're going to use a while loop here to basically check as long as counter is less than 3, we will take x, add 1 to it, and take y, add 1 to it, and then z here will be the function call for add numbers, where we're going to provide x and y, the new values of them, which is basically 10 plus 1 for the first iteration, 20 plus 1 for the first iteration, also for y. And then basically we're assigning the return value from the add numbers here to z, and we are printing x, y, and then the summation z. So let's get started with the actual debugging process. So we're gonna actually highlight what we want to debug here. So you see these here on the left side, right next to the lines, there's these red dots. We can click one of them to specify where do we want a line break to occur. Where do we want to pause the code to see what actually is being stored here. So I'm going to pause Z here to see what's being stored in Z in specific. And maybe we can check the counter just to see the iterations occurring. And I guess that's good enough. So to begin the actual debugging process, all we got to do is hover over there, click on this, and then Python debugger. We're going to debug the Python file itself. Just give it a minute. And there we are. So as you can see, on the left hand side, this is probably like smaller usually. You want to expand it out a little bit. And you can see there are controls here. So we can go over with the step over or the step into. I usually like the step over. Just pressing F10 to go over the code. And as you can see, the code started executing from the top to the bottom, and it stopped at counter right here, line 10, where we have the red dot. So we're just gonna, obviously we've already checked the locals here. X and Y have already been initialized to 10 and 20. If I click F10, you can see the counter also went over, it's 0, and now we're actually entering the while loop. Click F10 again, and again, and as you can see, X has changed right now because we went over this line. X value is right now 11, and Y is now 21 after I pressed F10 again. Now Z, what's going to be stored in Z? We can see is 32. 21 plus 11 is 32. And the counter has actually incremented up, so it's pretty cool. We can see like the code executing line by line. And now that the counter has actually been, it actually incremented by 1, you can see the new value for counter up here. And we can keep doing this over and over. And also, I forgot to mention, at the bottom here, you'll actually see the output that you're supposed to get when you're running this code on its own without the debugger. And as you can see, our print statement here printed out the result of adding 11 and 21 is actually 32, which is correct. If we keep going through this by pressing F10 line by line, we're going to see that there's another print statement here, 12 and 22. Is 34. Obviously, the values are incrementing through this while loop over and over until this third attempt, which counters to this one is going to go over, and now we're incrementing it up. And guess what? Now that counter is equal to 3, it's no longer smaller than 3, so the code will be interrupted, and we're going to end up with these 3 results here. This is a very simple tutorial. I mean, you can pretty much do this on any Python script that you like, or any other script actually, and using VS Code. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep this video short. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this content, please leave a like, a comment to help with the algorithm. I'm starting out right now again, and a subscribe would be really appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.